Coming up on Mountain News at 6, we'll take a look at a string of copper thefts that have occurred in one eastern Kentucky county this year. And a first for one town in Lloyd County, a place to get prescriptions filled. We'll hear from the owner of the new pharmacy just ahead.
And in the world of weather, we have temperatures in the low to mid 80s right now, but is there a change in the forecast? I'll have the answer in a few minutes.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
In 2024 alone, there have been more than 60 copper cable thefts in Clay County. Kinetic officials estimate these thefts have affected more than 350 customers in and around Clay County. They are offering a reward now up to $10,000 to anyone who can give them information that leads to an arrest. WYMT's Caroline Mueller tells us how these thefts can affect you.
Kinetic spokesperson David Faggard says copper theft is not a victimless crime.
It affects first responders, their ability to communicate inside the communities and with other life-saving agencies and services. Cable theft increases costs on companies, governments, residences, and small businesses.
This has been true for owner of Pantry Shelf, Susan Brotherton. She says their phones were down all day Friday, and back in May, they were down for 9 days, which resulted in them losing business from call-in orders.
We were at least 1/3 down of our normal business, yet I still work all my people. They depend on me for their pay on Friday. I can't say, oh, you all stay home because we don't have a phone today. I can't do them that way.
She says with no way of knowing when they will or will not have service, she bought an additional cell phone with another provider.
But that's hard to do. We've had the same phone number since 1967. And half our customers have it memorized.
Faggard says it's hard to say what the motive is behind these crimes.
What we think is happening and what some law enforcement officials have told us is that when the economy is having a rough time and people are having a rough time, some of these thieves will turn to theft, and they will specifically focus on copper because the cost of copper is up right now.
Faggard says this is dangerous to the thieves and the public.
And there is a risk of electrocution for the thieves themselves and potential hazards to the public due to exposed cables and compromised infrastructure.
He encourages anyone who sees wires down to report the issue immediately. Officials with Kinetic say they are just as frustrated with this situation as their customers, and they are working with law enforcement to get this solved. Caroline Mueller, WYMT Mountain News.
Kinetic officials say in some instances fiber optic cables are being cut and the copper is left, and they do not know why. They encourage any information that could help find the answer be reported to authorities. Well, a Floyd County man is facing charges after he reportedly broke into a home. Police were called to a home on Kentucky 3680 on Sunday. Mitchell Williams was reportedly armed with a knife at the time. The woman who called told Williams she called the police, to which Williams reportedly said, quote, "They will have to kill me," referring to police. Police later found Williams walking on Kentucky 3680 before they tased him. Williams is also accused of pulling out a knife at an officer. A woman is charged in connection to a moped crash that killed her daughter on Interstate 75 in Whitley County. The crash happened last week. According to our sister station, in Denisha Martin's criminal complaint, she admitted to knowing Darius Wade had been drinking before driving a moped with the 10-year-old on it. Police say they crashed into a Kia that night. Wade and the child were flown to UK Hospital, where the girl died. Martin is charged with complicity to murder. New developments in the Amber Spradlin murder case. The attorney for her accused murderer could be facing charges. Last week, attorney Randy Martin O'Neill filed a motion to dismiss charges against his client, Michael Kent, or M.K. McKinney. The motion cited evidence from 3 cases that could not be corroborated by the court. Attorneys for the Commonwealth are now calling for O'Neill to be held in contempt of court if he is unable to provide copies of the cases he referenced. A Laurel County man is facing charges related to child sexual abuse material. Officials of the KSP Electric Crime Branch arrested 58-year-old Jerry Dunn yesterday. He was arrested as a result of an Internet Crimes Against Children investigation. Dunn was charged with 20 counts of possession of matter portraying a sexual performance by a minor. Dunn is in the Knox County Detention Center. An Estill County man is facing a host of charges after police found drugs on him. It happened last week when police noticed an SUV sitting on the side of a road on a highway in Lee County. After Anthony Combs and his friend told police what was going on, officers thought their story was not adding up. That's when police decided to search the vehicle, where they found marijuana and a small baggie with a crystal-like substance. Combs was taken to the Three Forks Regional Jail. Crews worked to put out a fire at a Southern Kentucky detention center. Firefighters were called to the Pulaski County Detention Center yesterday. When they arrived, they found smoke and flames coming from a dryer in the laundry room. The fire was put out quickly. Crews stayed at the scene to make sure the air quality was safe for inmates and workers.
Well, we had temperatures today in the upper 70s, even low to mid 80s. Numbers for today played out like this. Over towards Wise and Clintwood, we had temperatures in the mid 70s, 76 in Clintwood, 77 Wise, 82 was the high in Pikeville, 86 in Hazard, as well as Jackson, 82 Manchester, as well as London. Monticello barely got to 80, but you made it to 80 nonetheless. Right now, Monticello is sitting a little bit warmer than the high, 82 degrees, so that's what's going to go in the record books. We're at 79 in Hazard, 79 in Pikeville, as well as Clintwood, 75 in Wise, 84 in Jonesville. All is quiet on live pinpoint Doppler radar. Again, as we've been talking about, this is going to get a break tonight, going into the day tomorrow, and for the most part Thursday. It's when we get into Thursday afternoon and evening that radar will start to get a nice workout. But tonight, definitely get out and enjoy it. Low 80s by 7 o'clock, low 70s by the time you join us tonight for Mountain News at 11. And then throughout the overnight hours, we'll see temperatures in the 60s. When you wake up in the morning, we'll see temperatures in the 50s and 60s, 62 in Harlan, 59 in Irvin, as well as Moorhead. Same story in London and Williamsburg. Hazard over towards Pikeville, we'll see temperatures in the mid 50s. I'll have your complete first alert forecast coming up in a few minutes. Steve.
Eric, thank you. A small town in Floyd County has a pharmacy for the first time. WYMT's RJ Johnson shares why this is a big deal for the community.
Born and raised in Knott County, Brad Little knows what it is like to travel far for different healthcare services.
If you go down 7, you're in Letcher County before you get to another pharmacy. You can go to Hindman or somewhere like that, but if you're coming this way from Caney, from Mousy, you don't have any other pharmacies.
After working for a couple of years as a pharmacist, he decided to open his own pharmacy in Wayland, being the first in the city to do so.
Wayland used to have a clinic here, and now they've got 2 more. So having a pharmacy here, I feel like it's a lot easier for a lot of these people who are so far away from healthcare.
Little says building the pharmacy did not come without some issues, including devastating flooding that damaged parts of the region, including Wayland.
I bought the land just before the flood. I just started putting dirt here to raise it out of the flood zone, ironically. The area was it was horrible for everybody.
However, Little was able to continue building, opening in April. He says he wants to support people in the community.
I want to make it so that people know they have a place they can come and ask questions if they need to. I hope to eventually be able to employ a lot of people from around here. If I can help the community, everybody around me, save them some money, and eventually employ some people, I feel like it's a net benefit.
While also ensuring those in the area do not have to go far for their prescriptions.
Yeah, a lot of people from here have trouble with transportation. So, I mean, you figure 20 minutes out of the way to go somewhere else when you could come here. Saves people a lot of time, a lot of money on gas.
In Wayland, RJ Johnson, WYMT Mountain News.
Little says support from local leaders and Southeast Kentucky Economic Development has been beneficial in helping him open Route 7 Pharmacy. With the back-to-school season in session, college campuses are welcoming back its students. For Alice Lloyd College in Knott County, students move back into their dorms this weekend, and classes start on the 20th. With the excitement of the new school year also comes the responsibility of student safety. Vice President of Student Services Scott Cornett says campus security offers services to help students when they need it.
We have some parking lots that are on the other end of campus that are a little bit, kind of out from things. So we have a shuttle bus that we run, and we also have officers that patrol that and pick up students and bring them back to campus if they need it.
Cornett says the campus has 24-hour police protection and that there are surveillance cameras throughout the campus. With Alice Lloyd College students moving back into their dorms, a campus organization sponsored several students' dorm supplies. Through the Alice Lloyd College campus ministry, 21 students received supplies, including refrigerators, microwaves, bedding, and other essentials. Mary Turner is the director of admissions at ALC and works with the campus ministry. She says this is the 13th year the ministry has been able to sponsor students' dorm supplies.
Some students come here with very, very little, and we want to give them, as our president said a couple of days ago in a faculty staff meeting, that we want to raise the bar, but help our students over the bar and help them achieve things. And basic needs are very important.
Turner says sponsoring supplies for the students would not be possible without the support of ALC alumni and community members.
All right, here's a look at the weather headlines for tonight. Lots of sunshine in the forecast for your Wednesday, but here comes the return of the heat and the humidity and the rain chances. We'll talk about that in the First Alert forecast in a few minutes.
And officials in one eastern Kentucky county are still working to restore libraries that were damaged in the July 2022 flood.
Visit